Rob here, and I got some notes I want to talk on, so make sure I didn't skip anything. But the topic of this video is to just probably the most difficult video publicly that I'm making out here is that in all my years on YouTube and all the videos I made, I've never really talked about the real me and what I'm going through in life, okay? And this is the realest video I make of who I am and what I'm going through. And it's just difficult as guys to talk about this stuff or to share at this level. But I've seen some others, and it kind of, I guess, in what they've done on YouTube, and it just made it easier. It made it, I guess, to take that step is, you know, the real me. When you go behind the curtain, as they say, and when you want to know, like, who you are, right? It's my life sucks now. It's in chaos, okay? And I'm a mess. You see, and I'm getting to this, is my dad passed in February of 2019, this year. He had fallen at his age, elderly, 90, and it was a bad hospital, and one thing led to another, and in like 10 or 11 days when he passed, it was so sudden, so unexpected, that I still have problems to properly process it, to deal with it. It's even hurtful just to go back there, because my mind, it goes through all those emotions, and it's a mourning, it's a big grieving. And what complicates matters worse is my mom had passed in June 2015. And she was 75, and that just, I can't even describe the word. It devastated me. And I mean, my dad, we had to move from that apartment we lived in because it was going to be too expensive. And so then I had the process and the concern about moving and dealing with all these issues with my mom, trying to process it, you know. But it wasn't, with that, at least we knew what was happening. And so I had a time to say goodbye, right? But this was so, with my dad, it was so sudden. And hold on. And after my dad, I had to move out of the apartment. So I had to give away things, throw away things, and just do so much as I'm having to move. And I just put my stuff in a storage locker, and I'm here at my relatives, but paying some rent, and it's this is the situation of my life. And as I'm trying to just deal with life and what's happened, it's like, and it just happened so quick, and I couldn't expect it. We couldn't see this happening just earlier this year. It was just, and I have an older brother, but he's on his own, and he lives in a small place. He's just doing his own thing, you know. But other than this relative and 2 other relatives I keep in phone contact with, there is no one who cares about me or knows me on either side of the family, okay? And other than one real good friend I have, that's about it for me, being real. There is no one, and my mom and my dad really loved me and cared for me. I couldn't have asked for better parents, and in that regard I was blessed. But there's no one else I know deep down in my heart and soul who really loves or cares for me at that level, to really be concerned about me, to really have that strong love that, you know, it's like some people have bad parents, but some have great ones, and I couldn't ask for better. I couldn't have wished for better. It was great. And I've never had anyone else in my life who in that level would ever care for me, you know. And you see, not married, never had that type of closeness where I thought I'd get married to someone. That it was never at that level. So I don't have a girlfriend currently. I don't have a wife, and even a wife could leave you, especially in today's age. But to have someone to really care for you or to love you, it's like not really, you know, for me anymore, at least. Add in the fact that I'm struggling with some health issues, which I don't want to talk about, and having to try to get a full-time work, trying to somehow get that, which I'm going to need in these next few months. And like, after my mom passed, I was off YouTube for a year, because between moving and everything. And even now, this is why I was off most of this year. The only reason I also returned is because I honestly don't know where I'm going to be next year, where I'm going to be living, or how my life is going to be. It's a great unknown, and that's the truth. So I might as well try to post when I can. You know, having been bullied in grade school and in high school, that even after I graduated, it took years, a couple of years later, just to finally get over it. The emotional aspects, you know, it just doesn't go away after you graduate high school. It took years to finally get over that, you know, or to process it out. Overall, I had a sucky school experience growing up all my life. I was never the one to fit in or to be accepted. You didn't even have your own group back then. And the thing that sucks is, had it been in today's modern age, with the emails and the internet, I probably would have had a couple of friends, but I have 0 friends from my school days. 0 contacts, none at all. You know, it's like, I had mentioned that, you know, with my parents, it's like, with my mom and my dad, it's like a piece of my soul, I feel, has died, you know, that I'll never be the same again at that level like I was before. And it's like the hardships of life have beat what little enjoyment I had out of it. The past few years have been really tough. I would say from 2010 on, and from November 2012 on, it just one thing after another, either to me or to the people I care about, and therefore I'm involved. And it's rough. And then I think about, okay, that in terms of the future, I really don't know. You see, I thought, you know, you play by the rules of life growing up, you hear, right? And that when you get older, you will be rewarded in life, that things will work out fantastic, how it should, you know. The bad people get punished, the good people thrive, and that's not how the real world works. You know, it was like a lie you've been fed. Yet I know or see people in the real world that they're not nice and they're not good, and then I know the lives they're living, and it's like, it makes you wonder. And then I see other good people, you know, or you hear about them, or relatives, etc., and either they're good or bad, and they got like families, or they have nice homes and great jobs and stuff like that, and it's like, you know, it's all just it's hard, you know. For some, they got it together, and others, it's one thing after another, you know. And so I'm in this tough spot of still just trying to deal with what's going on in my life, deal with issues, and trying to get this full-time work, trying to get my own place. But Queens and New York, it's so expensive, rent or living arrangements. It's such an expensive city. Plus, add in the fact I don't drive. You know, it's just a skill I never picked up, and it wouldn't be a good idea for me in terms of, I just know me well enough. And it limits you, because if you could drive, it makes life easier. That if you had a car, I would leave New York to a cheaper state if I had means of knowing I had work and I had a place to stay, and it was within, you know, distances that travel wouldn't be too far from work back to your place, etc. I would definitely move and leave New York. It would be an easy decision, but that helps if you could drive, you know. And those are issues I thought about. And other issues I thought about also is, heck, I would go to like one of these other countries even to live. But the problem is, again, no connections, no means, really. It's hard to even do stuff like that alone without any know-how of figuring that stuff out, you know. And it's just random thoughts I've had. And, you know, this is, man, and that's what's going on in my life, if you're being extremely real. And it's very, it's rough, and I don't know. And so that's me, and what's going on. So let me know what you think, have to say, or whatever, or don't. It's very hard to open up like this, or to talk so freely, but, man, I don't think I could say any more. That's it for now.